This is Jeopardy! Introducing today's contestant. Player one. And now, here is the host of Jeopardy, Alex Trebek.
Thanks, Johnny. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Jeopardy! You look eager to get underway, so let's get right into it. And we start the Jeopardy round categories with this one: ice cream, everyday Italian, literary pets, out of this world, sports zone, and historic London. Player one, start us. Cohen and Greenfield are the last names of the co-founders of this company that created Cherry Garcia ice cream. Player one, use the Wii remote or press the corresponding direction on the plus control pad, and then press the A button to select a response. Correct. You again, player one. Though it started with just 31 flavors, this chain now has more than 1,000, including SPF 31. Let's hear it, player one. That is correct. Choose again, player one. This treat gets its name because a certain fruit is cut lengthwise and then topped with ice cream, nuts, and whipped cream. Okay, player one. Yes. Select again. This three-flavored ice cream is named for an Italian city. It's player one. Sorry. We're talking about Neapolitan. You again, player one. Many claim to have invented these. One man made them from waffles at the 1904 St. Louis World's Fair. Let's hear it, player one. That's it. Player one, back to you. The title beast of his The Hound of the Baskervilles is actually the pet of Mr. Jack Stapleton. Here's the correct response: Arthur Conan Doyle. Player one, pick again. Harry Potter uses his snowy owl named this to transfer messages. Okay, player one. No, that's not right. Here's what we were looking for: Hedwig. Player one, back to you for our next selection. Marjorie Kinnan Rawlings' The Yearling centers on this type of pet. The correct response is a deer. Select again. When a basketball player goes walking with the ball too long without dribbling, it's called this. Are we there yet? Yes, player one. That's right. Way to go. We return to you, player one. Little Swan, Little Bear, and Greenfinch are some of the goats of this Johanna Spirilass. We're talking about Heidi. Choose again, player one. A poetic Eliot feline who has lived many lives in succession is named for this fifth book of the Old Testament. Player one. Good for you. Player one, you pick again, please. The gravitational pull of this object is the main force holding the solar system together. Let's hear it, player one. Good. You get to pick again, player one. Galileo was the first person to see the rings around this planet. It's player one. That is correct. Please pick again, player 1. Not the first, but this second planet is the hottest because its atmosphere causes a severe greenhouse effect. Player 1? Yes. Select again. The comet named for him was last seen in the skies in 1986 and won't return until 2061. Yes, player 1. That's not it. Here's the correct response. Edmund Halley. Choose again, player 1.
Yeah.
Answer, the Daily Double. And you have the lead. What'll it be? The clue. Like Pluto, Haumea and Makemake are designated as this kind of planet. Hey, you're right. You get to pick again, player 1, and I'll hand it off to Kelly.
Sluggers try to get backspin on the ball because it makes air move faster over the upper surface, providing this elevating force on the underside.
Okay, player 1.
Yeah!
Correct. Player 1, back to you for our next selection. Every spring, the Augusta National Golf Course hosts this famous tournament. Player 1? Oh, sorry. Here's what we were looking for. The Masters. Player 1, pick again. Tony Stewart lives life in the fast lane as one of the big names in this type of auto racing. Let's hear it, player 1. You are correct. You again, player 1. In 2004, she became the first soccer player to carry the U.S. flag for the Olympic closing ceremonies. Here's what we wanted. Mia Hamm. Player 1, you pick again, please. You can visit several of these historic structures like Kensington and Buckingham. Okay, player 1. Yes. Player 1, back to you. Regent's Park was a hunting ground for this 16th century king who never hunted without tiring 8 or 10 horses. The correct response is Henry VIII. We return to you, player 1. Famous men who orated at Hyde Park's Speaker's Corner include Friedrich Engels and this 1848 Engels co-author. Here's the correct response. Karl Marx. Please pick again, player 1. Arthur Wellesley, the first Duke of this, was known as a soldier, but had an eye for art, as you can see at Apsley House. Here's the response we were looking for. Wellington. Player 1, back to you for our next selection. According to Shakespeare, these conflicts began with a confrontation in the Temple Gardens. The correct response is the Wars of the Roses. Select again. Formaggio is this dairy product. It's player 1. Ooh, sorry. That's incorrect. We're talking about cheese. Choose again, player 1. This food staple is pane. Yes, player 1.
Yeah!
Good. You get to pick again, player 1. This body part is il piede. Here's the response we were looking for. A foot. Player 1, you pick again, please. This quadruped is un cavallo. Here's the correct response. A horse. Let's have a look at the $1,000 clue. This day of the week is martedì. Player 1? You got it. The Double Jeopardy round will begin right after this. Categories for the Double Jeopardy round are I Resign, L.A. Story, 19th Century Medicine, Words, Stars and Their Roles, and Theater Around the World. All right, if you're ready, it's Double Jeopardy time. The musical Les Mis didn't debut on Broadway, but in this city, its setting. Here's what we wanted. Paris. We return to you, player one. He directed a landmark Chinese production of his play Death of a Salesman at the People's Art Theater in Beijing. Here's what we were looking for. Arthur Miller. You again, player one. A Dutch TV reality show picked the muscular swinger for the European run of this Disney musical. Here's the correct response. Tarzan. Please pick again, player one. There's a method behind his founding of the Moscow Art Theater with Nemirovich Danchenko. Here's what we were looking for. Konstantin Stanislavski. Player one, pick again. Here's Kelly with the clue.
Performers in this traditional Japanese art of singing and dancing wear elaborate stylized makeup.
Here's the correct response. Kabuki. Player one, back to you. She was magazine editor Miranda Priestley, who fiendishly wore Prada. Here's the correct response. Meryl Streep. Select again. He was Julian Kay, an American gigolo. Here's what we wanted. Richard Gere. Player one, you pick again, please. In 2005, this actor walked the line as Johnny Cash. The correct response is Joaquin Phoenix. Please pick again, player one. He was Charlie Chaplin in a 1992 biopic. Here's the response we were looking for. Robert Downey Jr. Player one, pick again. He was Heathcliff to Merle Oberon's Cathy in 1939's Wuthering Heights. We're talking about Laurence Olivier. Player one, back to you for our next selection. If you say, I'm eating a hot dog with this, you could mean a chopped pickle topping or just plain enjoyment. It's player one. Right. Choose again, player one. Chat about this in your chat room. Chat is merely a shortened form of this 7-letter word. Okay, player one. That's correct. Player one, back to you. This name for a work of art that you may carve in art class comes from the Latin for to carve. Yes, player one. Woo! Yep. You again, player one. The name of these small towers, often seen on castles, comes from the Old French for small towers. Here's what we wanted. Turrets. We return to you, player one. From the Latin for almost last, it means, next to last. Let's hear it, player one. Right. You get to pick again, player one. In 1885, the first successful vaccine for this was tested on a boy who had been bitten by a dog. Yes, player one. Yeah! Right you are. You again, player one. The invention of the ophthalmoscope in 1851 by Hermann von Helmholtz aided inspection of this body part. Here's the correct response. The eye. Choose again, player one. In 1865, Joseph Lister began using carbolic acid as this, from the Latin for against putrefaction. We're talking about an antiseptic. Player one, pick again. Answer. The first of the daily doubles. You are currently in the lead. So what's your wager? And the clue. In 1852, George Kamen gave physicians a new version of this instrument whose name is from the Greek for chest.
Yeah.
Right. Please pick again, player one. This German's discovery of X-rays in 1895 had visible effects in diagnosing medical problems. The correct response is Wilhelm Röntgen. Player one, you pick again, please. Sam the Eagle was created by the Disney Company for this event held in Los Angeles in 1984. Here's the correct response. The Olympics. Select again. Microphones, TV sets, masks, phonographs, and movie cameras symbolize stars' specialties on its Walk of Fame. Here's what we were looking for. Hollywood Boulevard. Player one, back to you for our next selection.
Woo-hoo!
Answer. The other daily double. And you have the lead. How much? And the daily double clue. This school is the oldest private university in California and the largest private employer in Los Angeles. No. Here's the response we were looking for. USC. We return to you, player one. An observatory and a park in Los Angeles are named not for a birth of a nation director, but rather a colonel with this surname. We're talking about Griffith. You get to pick again, player one. Docents at LA's Page Museum are in a sticky situation. La brea means this substance in Spanish. It's player one. Correct. Player one, back to you. His August 8th, 1974 speech began, "Good evening. This is the 37th time I have spoken to you from this office." Player one? That's correct. Player one, back to you for our next selection. In 1996, after 20 years managing the Dodgers, this man resigned. Here's the correct response. Tommy Lasorda. Player one, pick again. In 1869, he resigned his Western Union operator's job to devote more time to his inventions. Okay, player one. Sorry, that's wrong. Here's the response we were looking for. Thomas Edison. You again, player one. This Chief Justice resigned in 1986 to chair the Commission on the Bicentennial of the U.S. Constitution. Here's what we wanted. Warren Burger. Now let's take a look at that $2,000 clue, shall we? You may know the name of this woman who left NASA in 1993 to go into the business of advanced technologies. Let's hear it, player one. No. The correct response is Mae Jemison. Good game. You will participate in Final Jeopardy right after this. Consider your wagers carefully as you think on this category. Landmarks. Please enter your wager. Press the corresponding direction on the plus control pad to select your response. Let's take a look at that Final Jeopardy clue right now. The quote, "with malice toward none," is on the wall of his Washington, D.C. memorial. And your response? With that correct response, you will gain You've come out ahead as our champion, player one. So long, everybody.